Good morning, everyone. Good evening and good afternoon to viewers from all walks of life. This is Denzomus, and you're welcome to the channel of truth, enlightenment, freedom, and the channel of breaking empath free. If you are new on this channel, I talk about narcissism and narcissistic abuse. I talk about spirituality, and I talk about personal and self-growth. And if any of that resonates with you, I invite you guys to join us. Give us a like, share the video with friends, and you may subscribe if you haven't already. And for those that have always been with us, you are welcome back, and I thank you for your love and support. Now, in this video today, I would like to draw our attention to narcissistic family units. And we are going to pay very close attention to the narcissistic parent. Now, you see, in the narcissist family dynamics, find a place to sit. So we got the person at the top that you guys already know, the narcissistic parents. So they're the ones who are responsible for running those families. They're the ones who are pushing the buttons, pushing and pulling the buttons, and they're the ones in control and in charge of the whole family. Now, in worst case scenarios, sometimes you may find those parents, they have got very, very deep secrets that they're hiding from the rest of the family. So sometimes you may find some of those families, they're into witchcraft. You may find sometimes those families, they're into sorcery. You may find them, they're into cults, and so many different kinds of things that explain and describe evil. So you see, a lot of family members in those units, they're all put into a spell. So the very moment you notice that there's a narcissistic parent who is involved in witchcraft or who are involved in certain different kinds of cults, they will usually put those families into a spell. So most of those family members, all of them will be asleep. So a lot of them will not even be aware of what exactly is going on behind the veil. So they will not know what exactly is happening in those units. And the parent, like I've already told you guys before, the job of the parent is to sustain. So they have got an obligation and the job to sustain those families for as long as they can. Because remember, again, it all comes down to passing on generational curses. So you are going to know that your parent is passing on generational patterns and cycles. When you hear parents who are always telling you things like, oh, you know what, in our ancestors, our ancestors, they used to do things like this. This is how we used to pray. This is how we used to do this. This is how we used to worship. So a lot of different kinds of things that have been going on in those families, they have already been carried on from previous generations. So you'll find your father or your mother, they're telling you that, oh, you guys, you should not do that. This is not how things are done. So in our generations, in our ancestors, they have already told us and they have already established different kinds of patterns. This is how we do this, that's how we do that, and that is how we do this. And most of the times, this kind of conditioning and patterns, they have already been ingrained within family members ever since they was kids. So a lot of family members in that unit, they will grow up in that kind of conditioning whereby they cannot think for themselves, because the narcissistic parent, it still comes back to conditioning, it still comes back to power and control, whereby they have got to have everything in order to make sure that that family is sustained at each and at whatever cost, and they are supposed to do whatever it is that parents wants them to do, and it cannot be any other way. So that's why you see in those families, when you find the black sheep, sometimes you guys have heard about the black sheep. When the black sheep are born into those families, they are usually not obliging to the family conditioning. They are usually wanting to go their own ways. So they are always wanting to think for themselves. And at a very young age, of course, the black sheep also, when they see a lot of things that are going on, they will usually tell the parent, hey, you know what? This is what you have said we should do, and that is how you have said things should be done. But in my opinion, I think that is wrong. It is not. It shouldn't be like that. It shouldn't be like this. So a lot of times, the black sheep, they are the only people in those families that almost see whatever it is going on behind the scenes. But you see, again, it comes down to the conditioning, because whenever you open your mouth as a black sheep to speak for other family members or to speak about the truth, it is always going to turn against you. The parents will not always like whatever it is you go to offer, and most of the cases you are always, as a black sheep, going to be invalidated in those families. So you see, the narcissistic parent also operates with a number of extensions within the unit. So they operate with a lot of, in those families, like I've told you guys, you already know that in those families, they also exist other members of the family who are also equally as toxic as the narcissistic parent. So they are also an extension of the narcissist. So most of the times you see a lot of times the black sheep, whenever they come out to speak, whenever they come out to stand for the truth and the things that they believe in, a lot of family members, they will usually come around and gang up on them. Hey, well, how can you say something like that? You know that dad loves everybody and mom loves everybody, and you shouldn't think like that. You should always listen to what dad is saying, because daddy or mommy is the right one. Anything that they say, you cannot stand against anything that they say, because it is always going to be met by a lot of resistance within the unit. But again, we still have to remember that a lot of family members, they don't think like the black sheep. So a lot of them, they are on the side of the parents, or they are on the side of the parents. And again, you cannot blame them, because again, I've told you guys, most of the times, a lot of them are asleep. So most of them do not know exactly what is going on. So a lot of them, it will always come to that point whereby they will always have conflicts with you every now and again, continuously, because they believe that you're trying to disrupt the family dynamics and the conditioning. So the conditioning is very deep-rooted within the family, whereby it is not even noticed by so many different members of the family, apart from the black sheep. But there's one thing I want to let you guys know, is that the narcissistic parents, for them to run that kind of a pattern in those families, in those units, they are hiding extremely deep secrets that nobody can know. So the only reason why the black sheep is the most hated and most the reason why the black sheep in those families is the most hated in those families, that is because the black sheep, they are the only ones who are not understanding and who are not obliging to the family conditioning. So the black sheep, most of the things that you will say as a black sheep, it is going to turn against you. It is going to end up very bad with you. It is sometimes even going to send you into punishments, torture, and sometimes even isolation. So most of the times, the parents, there's a secret that they have done. So for the parents to be able to establish those families, there is something they have done. It could have been something they have done in a voodoo way, in a witchcraft way, in a black magic way, whichever name you can call it, but they have done something in those families that is supposed to keep everybody asleep, and is supposed to keep everybody in sleep mode. So a lot of family members, they will all fall into those patterns, and they will never wake up from it. But there's one thing you have to pay close attention to. When the black sheep awakens in those families and they leave those family units, the family dynamics is going to shift completely, and the whole paradigm is going to shift, because now there is a lot of chaos going to start happening in those families. The narcissistic parent will become extremely uncomfortable, because they are believing at some point that the black sheep is going to blow the whistle. They are going to blow the trumpet. So they are going to tell everybody what is going on. And most of the time, that's why you see a lot of black sheep when they're living in those families. You see a lot of hovering happening. You know, the parent may send the sister, hey, listen, go and talk to so and so to come back to the family, because, you know, we are family, we are blood, and all this kind of crap. So you see a lot of family members trying to hoover you back, because they want to get back control of your life and your destiny. So they want to keep you in that family for as long as it takes, because now they can be able to monitor you at close range. They'll be able to know what you're doing, what you want to say, where it is you're going. You know what I mean? But most of the times, it is not about that. It is about you exploding out and exposing that secret, that the secret that has been hidden in those families for decades. Because that secret, I can guarantee you something very important, chosen ones. That secret, it is going to die with the narcissistic parent. The narcissistic parent is going to carry that secret to the end. They are going to carry it to their grave. They can never ever, in whichever way, shape or form, they can never ever allow that secret to be exposed to other family members. Because remember, the black sheep, you may not necessarily know what it is, but you will know that there is something very, very deep and very, very extreme that the parents are hiding from other family members. So the secret that is happening in those families, the black sheep, you will know, but most of the other family members, they will never know. And the parent, the narcissistic parent at the top, I can guarantee you their job and their obligation is to keep that secret intact until the last day of their lives, because any moment that secret explodes and gets known to other family members, that is exactly when the family is going to crumble down to the ground. So that's why you see a lot of them, they are going into panic. When you wake up and you get out of those units, they are going to go into panic. They are going to run around. They are going to run in circles. They are going to go into panic, because they are worried about what is going to happen next. They are worried that secret is going to come out to the surface, because intuitively they know that the black sheep knows what is going on. But at the same time, they don't want that thing to come out to the surface. So they don't want. So for example, a lot of narcissists, narcissistic families, like you guys already know, they are run by narcissists eventually. So in those units, the secret of narcissism, most of the times, it has not yet been opened within members of the family. It has not yet been opened within their eyes, so they don't know, even some of them, that they are narcissists. So it's a lot of them who don't know what is going on behind the veil, and a lot of them are still in sleep mode. They do not know that actually there is a very serious dysfunction that is going on within the unit. You know what I mean? But when you wake up and you see this and you understand this, so for example, you can wake up and you notice a particular family member has been a golden child. A particular family member was the paralyzed child. There was an enabling parent. There was a lost child. And all these kind of different toxic patterns, you will usually see them as a black sheep. Most of the times, I can guarantee you that a lot of those people, they don't even know who they are. Like when talking about the golden child and these other established members in the family, they will not usually know who they are until the black sheep awakens. That is when they are going to start coming to that realization of who they really are, including the narcissistic parent at the top. But again, it all comes down to the conditioning whereby they can see it. Sometimes they will even try to deny it. They will deny that there is a dysfunction happening. However much you try to speak, however loud you speak, in the beginning of the days, it's going to be very, very difficult, and it's going to be met by a lot of resistance because none of them wants to listen to you. They think you are the problem. They think you are the outcast. They think you are the one who is trying to cause the chaos and to try to cause the disruption in the family, because they do not want to accept the fact that there's been something going on in those families. But again, we already have to know the narcissistic parent at the top. They know each and everything that is going on behind the scenes. So I just want to let you guys know in this video that it doesn't matter whatever it is, whoever tries to come around and convince those narcissistic parents, it does not matter what you do, it does not matter what you say. Those narcissistic parents, I can guarantee you, because of that secret that is deeply embedded within the family, they are willing to die and to go to their last day and to go with that secret to the grave. So they will never ever tell those individuals what exactly is going on. But you see, the things will start to change when the parent passes away. You know what I mean? Because a lot of times when I've had some situations whereby when the narcissistic parent passes away, that's when you see a lot of family members because you know it causes a lot of discomfort within the family. So when the parent passes away, maybe due to old age, it can be old age, it can be sickness, it can be so many different kinds of issues. But whenever they pass away, that is when a lot of family members now they start to reach out to the black sheep, because intuitively they somehow know that yes, this individual, sometimes they said this or they did that, or they broke away from the family, they became the outcast, they left the family. So some of them, they may try to reach out to the black sheep because they really want to know what is going on. So that's when you see a lot of them contacting you. They will ask you things like, oh, you know what, we know that you left the family a long time ago. We don't know what happened, but I don't know what. Maybe sometime you can try to explain to us a little bit. We want to know exactly what is going on that we don't really understand. So that's when they reach out to you as a black sheep. And that's when they're able to listen. Sometimes the truth will hit them hard in their heads. Of course, the truth is going to hit them very hard. But some of them will actually understand whatever it is you have been saying all along, all these years, it was the truth. Because I know some black sheep who have left those families for years. They have left those families for like 10 years ago, 5 years ago. And eventually, when at a later point in time, when the parent at the top, the narcissistic parent passes on, that is when they have gotten contacts from the family members who have come around and asked them to at least try to explain to them a little bit of the things that they do not know, or the things, because remember again, guys, let me tell you something. The black sheep, they are the curse breakers. So the reason why they are leaving those families is because they want to go out there and start working on themselves and become the best version of themselves. So most of the times they are breaking generational curses. So a lot of family members, when they look back, they will see the black sheep sometimes going in a very, very positive direction. And sometimes they might even sometimes come to that realization that, oh, how come that this person left the unit and all of a sudden they are doing well? They are still healthy. They are prospering in their businesses. They are doing better. Even sometimes, some of them, they've even become millionaires. They will now start to understand that there was something holding them back in those units. For some reason, there was something holding them back. And most of the times, because they cannot confront you when the narcissistic parent is still alive. So sometimes they will wait for the narcissistic parent. When the narcissistic parent passes on, that is when they are going to come around. Always they will come around and ask you. Because I can guarantee you that most of those family members, they are willing to stay where they are. So they are comfortable in their zones with their parents being abused and being used and all these kind of things, being manipulated. But most of the times when the parent passes on, now they are stuck. They don't know which direction to go. They don't know how to get out of the spell. They don't know how to break the conditioning. Now that's when they start to reach out to you and they ask for advice, information. There is something you know that they do not know. That is when sometimes they're going to sit with you and now you're going to be able to explain to them, so that you can now explain to them and tell them, hey, listen, guys, I've been trying to speak for so many years. Nobody was listening. I've been trying to explain. Nobody wanted to listen. And that's the reason why I left, and I went out there and started working on myself to become an authentic version of myself. So they will usually want to get to know more and more and to dig into the root of the problem. So they will know. Some of them, when they want, of course, if they want, which I don't think they will do, because like they say, we don't know the real statistics, but they say that most of the family members, they will always carry on the way they are until the end, because the conditioning is very, very deep within the subconscious. This is a spell. It is a spell that has never been broken, and now the narcissistic parent is gone, and now they are trying to break out of that spell. Some of them, they will try to break out, but some of them, they will carry on with that conditioning to the end. So just be rest assured in this video, guys, that that spell and whatever it is the narcissistic parent has done from the beginning of those units, from the beginning when they were establishing those families, those secrets, they will never ever, you will never know about those secrets until those people, they have passed away. They will carry those secrets to the grave. It is only the black sheep that is going to save the situation, and it is going to sometimes help those family members to awaken and to understand what really was going on, because now they will know this particular guy, man or woman, for a very long period of time, they've been explaining things, nobody wanted to listen. They've been explaining things nobody wanted to see. Even sometimes they used to hate them, criticize them, intimidate them, and do all these kind of things because they were trying to get out the truth to the surface. But the truth always comes with changes, because when the truth is coming out to the surface, it is also igniting other family members to change the way they see or the way they view the family. But most of them in that time, they're not ready for change. They're not comfortable for change. They want to stay where they are in that unit until the parent has passed on. That's when they want to start taking a different direction, because now there is nobody pulling their buttons or pushing their buttons. They want to get out of the box. Some of them will do, but some of them, they may actually stay with that conditioning for the rest of their lives until their old age or until the day they die. In this video, guys, that's what I wanted to let you guys know. The narcissist parent, don't expect anything from them. They will not say, they will not speak, they will be quiet, and they will keep on conditioning, and they will keep on gaslighting you, they will keep on smearing your name until the end, when everything is going to come out to the surface, because now they are gone. And now the truth has got to come out one or the other, and it is you, the black sheep, that is meant to spread the gospel and to spread and to blow the trumpet and to tell those members what has been going on all along the lines. So let me know what you think about this video in the comment section below. It was a quick video, guys. I just came out to do a walk in the park, but of course, like I said, I always get the downloads when I'm here, and I wanted to share with you guys what it is that came to me. I'll know what you think about this video in the comment section below, guys. Book a session with me, donate and support to this channel if you want to. All the details you need, then the description of this video. Until then, much love and blessings. Desmos signing out, and peace.